Alrighty, guys, we are back with another Hagcast episode. I want to say it's episode 6. Pretty sure it's episode 6. I want to say this is the 6th episode. Today we have on None. None doesn't have a YouTube channel, by the way, guys. He's literally a literal who. None. He's in the Carl kind of like circle ish. Matter of fact, I'll just let him kind of introduce himself. Go for it, man.
I mean, I've been in his videos. I am a literal who. I do agree with that one, but I've been in many videos of his, and I've literally made pretty much all of his art and other people's art too around him. To be fair.
Yes, he has made all these thumbnails here. He has made a majority, like all these are majority or.
Whenever you see a thumbnail that looks like shit, I didn't make that one, so you can probably tell by looking.
Okay, gotcha. And when I say literal who, I beat it in the funny hee hoo kind of way, not the like jab at you like who the fuck are you kind of way. It's like we're all literally who's in the
To someone.
Chodosphere. So
Yeah, to Asmongold, we were all fucking literally who's.
yes, to my Heckin based Overton window streamer funny lives in literal like fucking literal dumpster fire house. Heckin Oshi, man, yeah. Like I only get my takes from Asmund Gold, by the way, guys. My super lukewarm Overton window takes. I only get it from Asmund Gold, by the way, guys.
Yeah, he's walking back the Chud arc. By the way, I don't know if you
Oh,
know
he
that.
he is. His handler cracked the whip on him. He said, "You got too chuddy."
I mean, maybe it's he himself. I mean, I've seen videos of his like back-to-back videos of him being like, oh yeah, the racism is ironic, guys. Obviously, I'm not a racist. Being racist is the worst thing you could ever be, guys. Clearly, I'm joking.
It's doesn't he have the same social media manager as Hassan Piker?
Oh fuck yeah! They all share like these big social media managers.
What's even the point of a social media manager, too? By the way, like what's like literally even the point? I don't even understand
Contacts.
that.
I mean, how do you think they arrange like collabs and they like arrange with like popular firms or like advertisements? That's how it works. It's a talent agency. Why do you think fucking VTubers have handlers? It's all fucking it's the same shit that
Wait,
they
you're
did
saying
with like
VTubers are
music.
talented? What?
No, talent agencies, bro.
Well, yeah, that implies they have talent, though. VTubers don't have talent.
They don't. That's what we name the agencies. It's
It's
like
ironic. It's a
obviously,
joke.
yeah, yeah.
It's
Maybe it's a joke.
like we got food at the food bank. Looks inside, no food.
Yeah, that's true. Where do you stand on VTubers as a PNG tuber?
I'm not really a PNG tuber. It was more kind of like a gag, like here and there. I like showed up on screen, and I fucking hate it too. It just I don't know. It just looks kind of jarring. I don't know. It looks really weird. Um, I don't like VTubers. I don't like VTubers. Like I literally had to get like coax into like watching a fucking Powder video. I don't even know. I don't even know like any real VTubers outside of like Powder. And I only know of that one leaflet or whatever, the one with like the blue hair or some shit. I only know that because of the videos shitting on the real video game awards. And call me an old man. I'm going unk mode here, but back in my day, the first VTuber I ever heard about was Kazuna AI. That was the first VTuber I ever heard
Oh
of.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Fuck yeah.
I
That
I
that that
wonder I
one I
wonder if they're
remember.
even still like I wonder if they're like even still around or like even remotely even like relevant. Kazuna AI. Do they even still do anything? 3.1 million subscribers. What do they even do? What do you do here exactly? It's like that Office Space, that scene from Office Space where the guys are showing up and they're like interviewing everyone. It's like, so tell me, what exactly do you do here? Um,
Uh,
what the fuck is this
yeah.
slop anyway? Like what is this?
Yeah, it does look like it's fucking generated just fucking slop of all kind. To be fair.
Like who's watching this? Like is it just like really lonely men? From what I understand, majority of the people who watch VTubers are just very like socially deprived kind of like guys, like dudes who just like they don't have like a girlfriend or like they can't really get any interactions with females. Nothing against them or anything. But it's like these people like are essentially kind of like capitalizing on like the
It's
male loneliness thing.
Oh yeah, it's parasocial as shit. I couldn't tell you why, because let me tell you, in my entire life I've watched like a total of I don't know, less than 5 minutes of VTuber content because their voice, uh, I don't know, it triggers something in me that like makes me fucking want to punch the screen. It's
Have you
actually unreal.
have you seen this video? Have you seen have you seen this video? Oh my gosh, dude, it's
Oh, they
bad.
posted it on the cord. It's like a fucking AI generated slop of like, look at me, I'm a fucking pick me, fucking VTuber, bro.
Yeah,
And
it's
her face and like her design
changes
changes every fucking second. Like,
every frame.
sorry
Yeah,
guys, AI just isn't there yet. I get it. Like, you can probably wrangle AI into creating a nice looking picture, but it just lacks the fucking cohesion to keep a fucking model straight. Like, it will like hallucinate things and just go off of that
do,
infinitely. It will
do you
fucking
think we should make the audience? Do you think we should make the audience suffer through this, being we had to suffer through it?
Uh, to be fair, yeah, you should subject them to this as
I'll
like
get them subjected.
And the left side sloppers. Ice along his
Oh.
burns for the borderline hoppers. Based in fertile takes in this elf wife, elf life. Sisters and sisters bringing back the age of strife. I'm the friendly elf department, logical booming, winning both sides.
and then the voice is just it's not there as well. The voice is clearly has that like ephemeral AI like echo to it. It's very weird.
Yeah, you can tell. It's bad.
Yeah.
This is like brimstone. Like honestly, this is like brimstone. Like nah, fucking hell right here, dude. This is
Well, people will like ping me with this shit and say like, this is like fucking proof that like we're winning and like VTubers are
winning.
base and they're
Fucking
saving
winning.
they're
This
saving
is what winning looks
Agartha.
like. Are
You
you
don't
fucking nuts?
understand. They're saving fucking Agartha and they're like fucking they're gonna enact T&D any moment now. All we need to do
TND stands for
is
totally nice day,
watch
by the
them.
way, guys.
Yes, and we need to watch them, and it's actually imperative that we give them like all of our money. It's actually insanely important that we give this like fat, like maybe 4 out of 10 max void
E-girl,
that
all of our
pretends
money.
to be an anime girl. We need to give her all our money. It's fucking disgusting. It
Honestly,
disgusts me.
I'm very surprised a lot of like the efoids like haven't caught on to like the alt right kind of grifter kind of like pipeline shit. I'm surprised they haven't like hopped onto that and they're like all trying to like farm, like farm the bucks from like lonely chuds or something. I'm surprised more of them haven't like got onto that.
I'd say they did. I'd say we're just looking at the start of it, but they've multiplied over the past years. I would say because it wasn't the case at all a couple of years ago, but now they're like openly doing it and they're like not getting like censored for it. Because the real difference is like you couldn't do it because you were like immediately blacklisted. It's just that
Yeah.
the window has shifted now, and like there is a little bit of a leeway in terms of just being like like hinting at being racist. You can't even like joke about it, but like hinting at being that has been like allowed. So they just use that as like a platform to make money, and they will catch on. Like it's clearly catching on. Like it's a very nice grift. It's very fucking
Lucrative
meta.
for them.
Yeah, fuck yeah. It's because like the people that buy into this shit, they can't be fucking told otherwise. It's insane how fucking how much they fucking ate it up.
Have the Goyim lost their minds?
Yeah, I mean they're doing this shit that like boomers do. They like Sojak point at like a black guy in a MAGA hat. Like, look at that. This is
Oh, dude, that's actually a great comparison. This is like Gen Z, Gen Alpha, like, you know, pointing at the base conservative black guy. You know, it's like, look, we found one. We found one.
this VTubers in the MAGA hat, guys. We're winning.
It's a VTuber in the MAGA hat, guys. Look, she won't fucking do anything. I'll be real with you. Like, like, I don't know. I can't really, like, watch videos where it's, like, women talking to me. I just feel like I'm getting lectured at, so I just, like, immediately close that shit out. It's like, I don't want to listen to this, dude. Like, like
Oh yeah, yeah, fuck yeah. It's I mean Carl said that a couple times that like he goes out of his way, like he doesn't watch women. I would say I'm even fucking one level higher because I've just passively noticed I've never listened to women online in general. It's just like I don't even like place any thoughts into it. I just naturally
yeah.
don't listen to them.
Like, I just don't know, like, what they're going to say to me that's going to be, like, groundbreaking or something. Like, there's nothing, like, no offense to them or anything, but I don't think they're going to really tell me anything that's, like, I already kind of don't, like, know already, you know? Like, I'm a lot more inclined to, like, give the time of day and respect to, like, another guy than I am, you know, this. I don't want to say too much on this because, like, YouTube gets really, they get very upsetty about, you know,
Really?
yeah, they get very upsetty about like any negative connotation about like connotations about like women or whatever. To which, you know, like obviously this doesn't apply to all women, or we're not talking about all women. YouTube, by the way, okay. There's no, I love women. I love Foids, by the way, guys. They're great. I would never say
I mean,
anything bad about the Foids, okay, guys.
it's not just YouTube though. Like when you say to people women are like on average shorter and like a couple IQs
You make
fucking dumber.
generalizations, yes.
It's people do not get that like when you address like an entire like group, it's not the same thing as talking about the person. It's the same thing as like asking someone how would they feel if they haven't eat breakfast this morning. If you say somebody to somebody like women are on average shorter, they're just gonna say, "But I know a tall woman." That's the same
Exactly.
shit. It's
They
like,
immediately feel inclined to like bring up the exception to the rule, to which like anyone who's like not like sub like 80 IQ or whatever will immediately know like you're not talking about the exception to the rule. You're making a broad generalization and there's obvious like exceptions. I've had that happen to me so many times, dude. Like I was at work.
yeah.
I was at work like months ago or whatever, and one of the ladies at my work was like, "Oh, hey, there's like a dog outside or whatever. Can you go like chase it away?" And I'm like, "Sure. What's it look like?" And she's like, I don't really know." And I'm like, "Does it look like a pit bull?" And she's like, "Yeah." And I'm like, "Oh, all right. Well, you know, pit bulls are pretty dangerous. You know, they're waiting to snap, and you know." Like, you know, attack someone or something. And she's like, not all pit bulls. And I literally, I just like, I fucking left the office after that. I just rolled my fucking eyes and I just like, I left. I like, yeah. There's no conversation for us to be had here. Literally no conversation. I just rolled my eyes and fucking walked off.
I mean, it's a good testing the water type question because if they can't comprehend that type of like comment or like they can't calculate those things, you clearly cannot explain fucking anything to them. Just
Yeah.
pointless.
Well, like a part of the struggle with like communication nowadays, especially for like people who are like aware of like kind of what's going on with everything, like talking to the normie is nearly like fucking impossible. Like you're basically like on a level of fucking like awareness on shit that like the normie cannot comprehend and they will never give a shit about. The next thing they're worried about is what's for dinner, who won the sports ball, and you know, I want to watch TV. You know, like I want to watch my favorite heckin' you know Yellowstone show on the TV. You know, and watch this white guy get like you know up and you know showed by like some black chick out in rural Montana or some shit. That's what they're concerned about. They don't realize that like you know we literally live you know an occupied fucking government for one, and then two, the people who are in power literally like devour children and drink their blood and do like the most like shit that would like make horror novels like blush. You know, like the level of like depravity and like evil things kind of going on in the background. You know.
I mean, hell yeah, bro. That's what's his face? It gets grating how monothematic people of that like occupation are. They're really like stuck up on like those five topics of like sports ball and fucking whatever they encountered at work. You clearly can tell like there's no thought like independent thought happening in their spare time for whatever reason.
Yeah, there's nothing going
Uh,
on. There's nobody home basically. Like it's like kind of like autopilot, I guess. I mean, like they're moving, they're talking, but there's not really like much kind of like they're kind of just going through the motions, in a way. And it's like you kind of wonder if there's ever going to like really be like a deeper kind of thought with any of these people, or are they just kind of they're just kind of like this for the rest of their lives or something, you know?
Most of them are like this, but it's somewhat of a choice as well. Like uh you have cases where somebody who was like a genuine fucking brainless NPC normie like just like got woke up for some reason. They just like woke up one day and like decided they're gonna like think for themselves for once. But like most of them are bound to be like that because like you can see the pattern in history as well because it's not like this is the first like social decline in history. You have fucking Sumerian tablets like talking about the youth being fucking corrupted. Like it's over. The youth what's its face, that Sumerian
Sumeria has
tablet.
fallen.
Yeah, it's
They're like
literally like
taking
a
stone
Sumerian
tablets. They're like
chud.
carving the Chudjak, Sumerian Chudjak, into the fucking stone tablets. It's like
Yeah, it was
Sumeria
an
is fallen.
actual Sumerian chud writing that like the youth does not obey their parents anymore. All they want is to write books, which is fucking funny to me. It's like current day, all they want to is become YouTubers, bro.
Do you think like the Judd archetype is like a generational, and like it crosses like cultural boundaries? Like every culture kind of has like their own like kind of Chud, right? Do you think that?
It's yeah, it's definitely like an archetype of person that's like transgenerational.
That's what I think, because I've seen like Japanese like older depictions, and it like the guy looks exactly like the Chud Jack, and it just kind of has that same kind of energy, you know. And yeah, I don't know. I think it's something that kind of across completely crosses like whether it be generations, cultures, or like countries' boundaries or whatever. Like it's everybody's got like the own like kind of Chud, in some way, shape, or form. At least I think so.
Oh yeah, it's one of those like conspiracies where like you see a pattern emerge like in different civilizations. Uh, that kind of thing. I can see that. Here,
Yeah.
I found the Phoenician Chudjak.
Oh, perfect, perfect.
Give me a moment. Linux is a little retarded, but I'm managing though. I've been using that shit for years now without any issue. Windows is like using that shit to me now is like I feel like a boomer. I can't do anything.
Yeah, the replies on this powder AMV or whatever. My default
Oh
response
yeah,
now
show me.
Twitter posts, it's like, brother, like,
Oh, Jesus Christ. Imagine showing that to people and like thinking they're gonna be like on your side after that at all. Like it's weird. It's fucking it's surprising. Yeah. Yeah, dude. The resemblance is uncanny.
do you think like some of these like some of art is kind of like I don't know, like art, like shit like this, right? It's somehow kind of like passed down through like the generations, like somehow, like I don't know, you have like ancestral kind of memories, kind of like Assassin's Creed kind of shit, right? And it's just kind of passed down throughout the years and like generations and whatnot, and then you ultimately arrive at like a comparison like this, and you're like, man, I'm really starting to think that there is like generational like knowledge and shit that's like passed down through like literal genetics or something, because it's like how do we get here? How do we get to Phoenician Chud Jack? you know?
I mean, this is a very strange case to like correlate those things, but like it's literally true. The people do replicate like behaviors that are tied to their genetics. Like you take black person, you give them to white parents like at birth, and they're still gonna replicate whatever like genetic memory tells them to do, regardless of like the cultural and monetary upbringing that they're gonna have. This is literally like a study that scientists fucking did to disprove, epically fucking disprove racism, and turns out no, you literally like even if you pluck a fucking person of some race and you put them in a completely foreign fucking setting that's completely like removed from their like genetic background, they're still gonna replicate some things that are tied to their like ancestry. It's just the genetic memory thing is it's like yeah, it's beyond uh, like any doubt. It's true. It's
Did
so
you?
like
You know, like a contrarian would probably be like, "No, did you see the video of the white guy in India who got stranded there from birth, and now he talks like an Indian?" They like pull up that video. They're like, "Look, this one example derails your entire myth, you fucking bigot." You know?
yeah, that's a very
Have
that's a
you seen that
sad
video?
case,
You know,
bro.
what I'm talking
Yeah,
about?
imagine being like a Finnish white guy and like your fucking bitch of a mother leaves you stranded in India for your entire life, and now you have a Jeet accent.
That's fucking brutal. That is fucking. That is literally brutal, dude.
Yeah,
I can't. I can't. I like how he's fat too. I like how the guy's fat, and it's
yeah.
like, don't they like not have a lot of food over there in India? How are you in a third world country and you're like morbidly obese? Like how did you accomplish this? Like, where do you even get money from? How do you even have enough money to buy food over there? Like how did you
It's
do
really
this,
his
bro?
white privilege, bro. It's his white privilege.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
you're right. You're right. I'm sorry. I need to check. I need to check my Mexican Aryan privilege. By the way, guys.
Oh yeah, true. I forgot you're ethnically Mexican. That does make sense a lot.
Yeah, my Mexi Aryan Brap Hog privilege.
Yeah, they will inherit the United States whether they like it or not. They're the true Aryans.
True Aryans, by the way, guys. My name is
So
Carlos
I wanted.
Sanchez, by the way.
I mean, I've seen your real life pics. You are definitely Mexican. You literally wear fucking that funny hat they wear. What's it face? The
I wear the serious hat. I wear the serious hat. Don't you know?
so the sombrero. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, 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 yeah. I'm Carlos Sanchez, by the way. I'm real Aryan.
Yeah, whatever, buddy. Okay, whatever. Everybody's fucking mixed around me. Okay, that's the rule of being racist online is that your friend group is literally like all different races. It's not even funny how fucking true that is for me.
It's not even like all different races. It's just like it's just all brown people.
No, not brown. It's like just like fucking every single person I know is either like from a completely different country, continent, or like a race. Uh, but that's how I know you're like I'm a real racist and not fucking left wing. Because left wingers they only like surround themselves with the whitest motherfuckers ever.
Yeah, it's just like a giant echo chamber of a bunch of mentally ill like white people, essentially.
Well, they are not. So the thing is, they're just not brave enough to admit that they're racist. They compensate for being racist. They like make things up to compensate for being racist, but their actions prove that they're like deeply racist. They simply like they have some weird ideology and like whatever they think that offsets their racism. They like channel it in a weird way.
Yeah,
They're gonna be like prostrating on the online, but deep down they're gonna surround themselves with whites only, and like they also behave in this like weird patronizing way as well. It's like a very true for specifically white like hard lefties is that they will like speak for the marginalized. They will be like, "Shut up, fucking person of color. I know that you've been hurt by this, so I'm gonna be like your warrior. I'm gonna like on your behalf. I'm gonna fight because
I'm
you're
going to
such a
speak for you
retarded."
because you're too retarded to speak for yourself.
Exactly,
Yeah.
exactly. That kind of like aura around them that makes everybody fucking pissed off. But I wanted to ask you. Okay, I'm streaming myself. What do you want me to fucking draw, buddy? I'm not gonna waste my time here. I'm gonna draw as well.
Shit. I don't know. I'm not like I'm not showing your screen. I only have mine capturing my desktop right now.
That's
Um,
fine. That's completely fine.
what? Shit. I don't know. What do you? I don't know. Literally draw like. You want me? You want to draw like anything or?
Yeah, just give me a theme, bro. I'm just gonna what's it face?
Yeah, no. You could do like
Freestyle it.
a table with like the Oscar mascot, and then you're kind of like mascot sitting in a table or something. And we could like both wear like the serious hat or something. It's just like serious podcast hat or some shit.
All right, so like a podcast little thing. Yeah, I can do that. You can then put it as like a background over there.
Yeah. I'll probably like put it up in the corner of the screen or something. Did you see the Carl Hagcast episode? How I put the Cerno, the fucking Cerno
Yeah,
bouncing up and down the entire video, dude.
yeah, yeah. I mean, the funny part is the lefties will never have this. They simply do not know how to meme.
No, they really don't. Their memes consist of like giant fucking wall text, and it's like read the whole thing. And it's like I'm not reading all that shit, dude. Like I'm not fucking doing it.
They lack the divine spark to meme.
They lack the DNA of the soul, Jack.
But yeah, that's a good question too. I'm gonna ask you since like I've been to the U.S. and it's pretty fucked in terms of like religion. You see all these weird churches. Every church is different, and like you have all these weird religions on top of that, like mega churches. What's your deal?
Like what do you mean exactly?
Aren't you like a Christian,
Yeah.
like Catholic, or what denomination?
Protestant.
Protestant. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, then we have to hate each other a little bit. The told me to hate you. Okay.
As he does.
Ah. Yeah. They told me you want to fucking hate you.
Yeah, I'm glad I keep the bleeping. I glad I keep the bleeping soundboard. On hand in my video files. So I
Okay.
can just
Oh yeah. True. True. I forget you have a. Okay. I'll try to not pop off. Okay. It's
no,
really
it's fine.
hard
I'm
because
just gonna bleep all of it out. I'll probably just try to keep I'll try to keep this episode under an hour, so I don't have like 2 hours of fucking footage to go through to find like everything to bleep out.
okay, buddy. Okay,
Um,
don't worry. I got you. What's it face? In that case, you're like a Protestant. Don't you have like? Don't you have to like dodge mega churches over there? Because it's like an actual like scourge with that thing.
so, I mean, like it's something like in Christianity, right? A part of following God is having like discernment, right? And that is you have to like know the scripture to kind of like know like what to look for, right? And a part of the reason I don't really talk about God on this channel is partly because I'm a massive hypocrite. If you've seen the channel, I'm just a huge hypocrite when it comes to any of this. Um, but yeah, so like you have to like use the sermon, right? If you're having that video, that one, you see the video, that one preacher, he like got stopped at an airplane, and they're like the reporters are like, you don't want to fly with poor people or whatever, and he like literally like tweaks out and looks like he's demonically possessed. You know which one I'm talking about?
Is it the one that told said that like God talks to him about like his jet being necessary?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah, yeah,
oh,
that guy.
my jet is fucking necessary because
It's
I'm
just very
just like
necessary, by the way.
I want to preach the word of God at like 400 miles an hour. Okay, you don't get it, or whatever, 4,000 miles an hour actually, because it's a fucking plane. It's actually imperative that I own a jet plane, bro. You don't get it.
You don't understand. It was directed by God that I own this like jet plane or something, guys. Like trust me, all right. Like I can't show you in the Bible where it says that, but just trust the plan, okay? Literally,
I mean,
just trust the plan.
it's written in the Bible. Like Satan himself doesn't fucking bother like spurging out. He can quote the Bible too. That's the thing too.
Exactly. Yeah. No. Like, there's plenty of people who can get in front of you and like say they're like of God and whatnot, and everything they do points exactly like opposite to that and whatnot. Right. I mean, it talks about in the Bible how basically. Well, Jesus talks about it in the New Testament. He says, "Beware false prophets." Right? Many will come in my name, but few will like ever actually be like of me. Right? Which is a part of like where like discernment kind of comes from, and the fact that you need to be able to figure out who's about it and who's not, right? And that's
Yeah.
what a lot of people lack nowadays is discernment. Like for instance, like if you show up to a church and you see like they have like a woman pastor, or like any like if you show up to a church and they have a woman pastor, it's over. Like you need to immediately like flee. Like you need to literally like run for the hills and not look back. Like Lot did, and Lot did with like his family, before the place got nuked or whatever. Um,
I've never seen like actual women pastors preach. I imagine it's fucking horrible. I've seen like uh very short excerpts from like women like LGBTQ friendly churches, and it's honestly fucking baffling. It's crazy.
Yeah, well, it's like it's insane to me is that like you have men who will like willingly kind of like sit like in those like in the audience and stuff and like just listen to it, and it's like, are you serious? Like, where's your balls, dude? Did your balls drop off or something? Are you really gonna sit here and listen to this? I remember how jarring it was, right? Like I like many years ago, I was trying to get married to one of my like ex fiancées. She was my fiance at the time. But anyways, I called up a local church
Oh,
because I didn't really
it's a different one from the one that
different one.
divorced you. Wow.
Yeah, different one, different
You're
one. Yeah.
definitely fucking dodging the autism allegations then.
Well, I mean,
There's no way you're getting fucking married twice, pretty much, almost.
well, you see, the first one was the first fiance was insane. But anyways, I
That's
like
fine, bro. That's an accomplishment. That's a testament to your
no,
fucking.
I'm too fucking autistic, bro.
I don't know.
Women
Man.
hate me.
You haven't seen autism like I've seen, but finish the thought first.
Anyway, so like at the time, I didn't really know too much about like churches, and like different churches were like actually kind of different from one another, and you had like all these different denominations. I was kind of just under the thought of like, they're probably all about kind of the same or whatever, right? And anyways, so I call up the place, and like the first person that answers the phone is some lady, and I'm like, yeah, hey, I'm looking to get married. I wanted to do like some pre-marriage counseling or whatever. And the lady's like, oh, I'm the pastor. And I'm like, wait, what?
Click.
I'm like, wait, what? And she's like, yeah, I'm the pastor. And I'm like, why are you the pastor? That's what I said to her. I was like, it says here in the Bible that's like not allowed. And she like spurred out and went on like some long tangent about how I'm like a bigot or something. And I just kind of like hung up the phone on her. I'm like, yeah, I don't think we're gonna be going there. Yeah, I don't think we're gonna be going there anytime soon. So yeah, I mean, it's pretty brutal. Not gonna lie to you. So it's basically bringing it back. It's about using discernment. Like you have to know what's like in scripture to kind of figure out like where you want to go. As far as like a church, or where you should go, I should say, where you should go for like a church. I mean, I would avoid the mega churches because a lot of it just ends up coming down to like them wanting your money. And a lot of them preach like the prosperity Bible type, whereas they're like, if you believe in God, nothing bad will ever happen to you. You'll have perfect health and everything will be like great or whatever, which isn't the case, by the way, guys. If you believe in God, you're gonna go through a lot of hardships. Like, believe it or not, like you're gonna go through a lot. It's not like this instant, everything in my life is somehow perfect and fixed. That's like the furthest thing from the truth. We look at
It's the opposite, bro.
Exactly, yeah. Like Christ carried his cross and was literally like lashed and stabbed in the ribs and like treated, horribly. And this is literally like they're doing this to like some like to God. Literally, the Son of God and God Himself. They're doing this to Him. That's how little they care for what they do, right? Father, forgive them, for they know not what they do, right? And Anyways, so
I mean, they know not what they do. What fucking brings what's his face? I just like today found like on my fucking computer the clip of fucking Ethan Klein on the podcast with Hassan Piker when he collabed with him for a bit. And he had like a whole tangent for like a minute. He was like, "Fuck yeah, I would fucking put the Jesus on the cross again. I'd fucking do it again." He had like a whole fucking spiel,
which
man.
one of them said that?
Fucking Ethan, bro. He's a Jew, and he's like a openly Zionist guy. So he's like fucking. He doesn't care. He's like put that bitch on the cross again.
Yeah, there's
So
a
they
reason
know,
why.
like to be, what's it face? It takes a little more IQ to, uh, get these things because people are very eager to quote the Bible at you, but they don't realize like it's fucking, like it's a big difference to quote like the Old Testament and to quote like the New Testament. Those are the two uh different completely different versions of God. Like a Old Testament God is a completely different being from a New Testament God. Not to mention the context around the quote is usually just as important. So they will literally just go up to you and quote fucking, turn the other cheek, but they're literally retarded. They're not like quoting all the other passages
Well, they
that
don't use the actual like context of like the passage for like what it was meant for, right? They always quote that one where it's like the argument for like letting in illegals, and it's like, oh, I was a stranger in your homeland and you welcome me in, and it's like that is a completely different context to like having open borders for your country. That is like the one of the worst like arguments you can make here by arguing that scripture. And it's that meme, the meme where it's like the smug. It looks like a smug Asian guy or whatever. He's holding up a coffee cup and he's like, "I have nothing but contempt for your religion," and will use like any quote of yours to basically get you to bend over backwards for my political beliefs, and I literally hate you. You know the one I'm talking about?
yeah, I've seen it. You usually can tell
Yeah,
from how they argue that like they're arguing from a point of like literal hate content, which is
yeah.
very funny because a lot of today's like new age modern age like religion is like, oh, we hate hate is bad, you need to combat hate online, hate this, hate that, but you will quickly find that they are very hateful people themselves. Like people that preach this are insanely quick to like completely fucking blow up and like show themselves for what they are, which is very like deeply fucking hateful people. They,
Yeah.
they're not.
Yeah, exactly right. And they all they do is this: they take the Bible quotes and they use them for whatever agenda they want to push as a way of shaming you. They're like, "Oh, you believe in this, right? Well, then you have to do whatever I want because this
Yeah.
one quote right here that you don't like understand the context of." And like that's what they push for, right? And as far as like the Old Testament God and the New Testament God being two different entities, I don't believe in that. I think that the Old Testament God, he acts. I shouldn't even say Old Testament God, but like God in the Old Testament, he obviously he's having to discipline his like children a whole lot more, right? He took responsibility for like all of Israel and is basically having to bring up these people from like literally from nothing, right? Trying to like guide them, to which like you're going to discipline children like a whole lot, right? What comes like so you have the disciplining of the child, right? Child steps out of line, you discipline them, and then after that, you do have the loving side to which you show like, hey, it doesn't have to be this way, like I care about you kind of deal, right? You have the initial discipline, and then the soft rebuking and the love that comes from it like afterwards. And that's more so how I view the Old Testament versus the New Testament, right? Like even in the Old Testament, God cares enough about his own people, as to where he's literally willing to take charge of like an entire like nation of people and like lead them out of Egypt and try to bring them somewhere where they can live a better life and whatnot, right? And you also see too, God keeps his promises as well, and he remembers to. So when what's his name, Moses is up on the mountain, right? God is literally ready to like kill like all the Israelites. He's ready to do it because they're over there worshiping the golden calf and a bunch of other like false idols and stuff, right? That's like their first instinct is to immediately turn away from God and like turn to false idols. And so Moses immediately pleads with God and says, "Hey, like remember your promise here that that you know like please spare these people, like have mercy on them." And God had mercy on them. So there's a lot of different instances. You just have to look through the Old Testament, and there's so many different connections between what happens in the Old Testament and like it predicting things that would happen in the New Testament, as to where it shows it's all interconnected, like in a way. It's hard for me to explain. I'll be honest with you. Like I'm not like an Old Testament expert. I can tell you a lot about the New Testament, but as far as like Old Testament stuff goes, it's kind of hard for me to follow because there's like a whole lot of bloodlines and like a lot of stuff kind of going on in the background with it. As far as like Israelites getting like put into captivity, them coming out, and like them jumping kind of all over the place. Whereas the New Testament, it's a lot easier to follow because it's like for the most part mainly about like Jesus and his disciples, kind of going all over the Middle East and whatnot, and like preaching the word of God. It's a lot easier to follow and digest. But I would definitely say God has always loved his creations. That's why he gave us free will to begin with. It's like if you really love someone, you're not going to force them to do the right thing. You're going to let them make the choice, hoping that they'll choose to do the right thing. And if they don't, then well, at least you told them what's right and what's wrong.
I mean, at this, I don't know what to like the delineation between those two, like the Old and the New Testament, and the fact that they use like different words for God in those, like it's literally like a two faces of God, you could say, where one is like this New Testament, like all loving, like very unique depiction of God. By the way, across all religions, you don't have that like loving depiction of God anywhere else. It's literally just Christianity that like treaded those new grounds. But like the Old Testament God has like a stark difference. That's why they use a completely different word for him, because he demands sacrifices. He's more harsh. He's literally hands on, which is like not the case in the New Testament. Like it's not a thing that God would be like all hands on involved. Like fucking you go sacrifice to me and I will bring you like fucking victory in battle or whatever the fuck. It's a very different kind of dynamic. But it does not discredit that like Old Testament does still contain a lot of true passages. I would say I'm definitely more of a fan of a New Testament as well. It's the same thing here, but like Bible itself is a very deep like meaning book. Like it's a fucking reason it's such a contentious topic. Everybody like gets their own ideas about it. It's not a coincidence.
Yeah, I think a lot of so a lot of people, they're like, oh, it's a book used for control. It's to control you or whatever, from the government or something. And it's like everything the book teaches you are all like good things in practice. Like don't cheat on your wife, don't covet what your neighbor has. Don't be a lying pos. Like pretty much, like it gives like there are like without the Bible in itself, there is no basis for morality. Without the Bible, there is no right or wrong. It's literally do as thou wilt at that point. There's no just be a good person, and it's like what even is a good person at this point? Like, can you tell me what a good person is without like having like a baseline that isn't from the Bible? Like, you can't do it. They're gonna be like, oh well, you should know not to murder people, and it's like, well, you go to these other cultures or like go to like Africa and these rural like middle of nowhere places where they literally just openly ape their sisters or do whatever else, and it's like, oh, this is normal. This is just normal stuff for us. Whereas like in the Bible, it's like, yeah, you probably shouldn't go around aping people and just blatantly killing people. It's not a good thing, right? So the people do need to be told like what's right from wrong. We can't we're not the ones to go around and kind of just decide morality for ourselves, because there is no morality without the Bible.
Oh, it's no, not just without the Bible. It's morality is a transcendent idea. It's a very, I guess you could
Open
say
to
it's a very white
interpretation.
people. It's a very white people idea. Like if
Yeah.
you think about it, if you take one look at fucking Mexico and how they rip each other's fucking hearts out on camera, like it's clearly like a very white people idea. It's it's transcendent. Morality is clearly transcendent. Like these spiritual ideas are not tied to the physical. Not to mention the Bible itself condemns the physical world as like very impure. Like you shouldn't put all your cards in the physical realm, and like your physical well being, your material wealth. It's all like blatantly fucking like pointed out as being like impure, and you shouldn't do that. Not to mention, without like morality, and let's say even more, without like a judge, because like there's the moral aspect of things that are moral and that are wicked. There is also the judgment aspect of like if you do immoral things, you will suffer for it eventually, and if you do like moral things, if you do good, you will be rewarded eventually. That idea is like intrinsic to everything. If you don't have some any accountability, let's say you don't have any accountability, we're all 100% not accountable for anything. Morality is irrelevant at that point because you're not accountable to anything outside of like the material realm. So the morality is literally like whatever you can get away with. And at that point, every person on Earth should be striving to be Jeffrey Epstein because that's the maximization of pleasure. Like Jeffrey Epstein himself was like a proponent of being a total degen, like maximizing pleasure. Because at that point, if you are godless completely and you believe that like killing children is okay, why wouldn't you maximize like killing children and your pleasure and your wealth? Like, it's
Exactly.
literally
Yeah. There's nothing holding you accountable to anything. It's literally like, might makes right, and do whatever you want. No one's ever going to hold you accountable for, the things you do here on Earth, which isn't true. Like, you will be held accountable. It may not be in this life, but when you go to meet God, you will have to answer for what you've done.
yeah, true that, true that. But like, it's it's something everybody has to do like on their own fucking time. I'm not here to like we're not here to preach fucking God to somebody that doesn't want to hear it. People don't change their minds like it's fucking anime and like I go up and I speak some words to you like, "Oh no, you've had it wrong. Actually, God is real and he loves you." And the guy is like, "Right, you've been right this entire time. I'm going to change my entire life because you said that." That doesn't happen. It's literally just anime,
Well,
bro.
so to that, I would say if you're not instantly gonna win. Like you might win like one person out of like a couple 100,000 who might do that, who just on the spot will be like, oh, you're right. Jesus talks about this. He basically he uses the parable of the farmer sowing the seeds, right, in the New Testament. Some of these seeds, like the seeds you're planting, you won't see like any plant. You're not going to see the immediate effects of it, right? For instance, right, I lived with a friend of mine for a little while, right, and he didn't believe in God. He was like completely kind of like agnostic, borderline like atheist almost. And for however long I would always tell him like, yeah, God doesn't really want you to be this way. He doesn't really want you doing this, right? And so I told him that for however long, and eventually, a couple years later, I get a phone call from him, just kind of randomly, and he's like, "Hey, man, like I started following Christ, like I believe in God now, and I wanted to thank you for being one of the few guys in my life who, kind of pointed me in that direction, who was willing to tell me, what I needed to hear when I needed to hear it." So to which like I'm not saying that to be like, oh, this is the end all be all, like this is going to happen every single time sort of thing, where you're going to have this like proof of like, hey, it works every single time. But you in a way you are planting the seeds in these people's like minds, somewhere it's deep in the back, because even then, like many years ago when I was a teenager, I didn't believe in God. I didn't grow up in like a Christian household or anything. I'm actually one of the very few people in my family who even like believes in God and like tries to read the Bible, and tries his best to go according with it, right? Despite living in a falling world and, continuously ending up sinning regardless of how hard I try not to, right? And so I grew up in a house with there was no my dad didn't really believe in God and he never mentioned the Bible, like anything like that. And I like I didn't really know anything about the Bible like at all, really, for the most part. And eventually, later on, I remember the one school I went to. They made us go to like chapel. They made us go to chapel. They made us like sit down and like actually listen to like scripture and whatnot. They had lessons like every Tuesday. I think it's like every Tuesday, Thursday, and Sunday. We'd like go sit down there. We were also forced to take a Bible class as well. And so, like, I didn't see the immediate effects of, like, any of that. I didn't see the immediate effects of, like, literally any of that till, like, years later on where it all kind of just sits quietly in the back of your mind. And then something eventually happens to you as to where it kind of all, like, I guess, like, clicks together in a way, if that makes sense. And you kind of put, like, two and two together. So, yeah.
I mean, I was gonna say that's the way to do it. If I've been in like this mindset of like arguing with people, which isn't the best mindset. Okay, you're not gonna fucking win in a debate, and then like the person is gonna change their mind. It's not how it works. But yeah, what you describe is essentially what you should do. Is you should plant like seeds of like this is immoral, this is moral, or like God wants you to do this thing. You shouldn't fucking fuck around with weed all the time and just like be a bum and just point them in that direction, and that they like once this like catalytic like situation happens where they question things, they will themselves like turn to that. They will be like, you were right this entire time. But
It's
it
in the
has
back
to
of their
come
mind,
from
yeah.
that person. It has to come from that person, because I've realized that myself. Like I've had some things that I knew were true and that people told me those things are true, but you have to like internalize it to like actually
Yeah.
act on it. Just because somebody told you something that is literally objectively true, and you yourself, you might even have like an inkling of that as well, until you like fucking stop and you tell yourself, you internalize that, and you like go off of that. That's where you actually change internally. It has to come from within. It can't be like, you can't just be pushed into it. You can be helped. Like it's a very good help to have like a mentor, and like a pointer, but it has to come from within, for
Exactly.
sure.
Yeah. You literally have to come to it like on your own terms, like putting it all together. And that's what Jesus talks about, right? The planting the seeds, right? Some might take a lot longer to sprout up than others. Like some people might immediately come and profess like, oh yeah, I believe in God now, and then the first bad thing happens to them, and that faith is immediately like pretty much thrown aside, and they completely forget that God is ever present in their life, and that he always is watching. He never abandons you at any point, right? It's just a matter of like holding on to that belief regardless of whatever hardships you're kind of going through. I'm trying to remember his name. The story of what was his name in the Bible? He was like stricken with swords
Job
and what was his
or
name?
no? Okay, yeah, I thought you were talking about her job or whatever.
Oh, Job. Job, yeah.
Job.
Job, yeah. Job basically was tested, was allowed to be tortured. God allowed him to go through trials and to like have all these bad things happen to him, just to show the devil that he was wrong about Job, and to show that he is one of my own and that he is faithful. And like what every single person should try to strive for with their belief in God, like the God of the Bible I'm referring to, obviously, but is they should have that same kind of resolve and a grounded faith that Job had in God, despite whatever hardships you may be going through, that he will be with you regardless of whatever you go through, and that your life isn't going to be easy. You're gonna go through a whole lot. We saw how he died, and expect nothing expect nothing less. Like expect that maybe not that same exact level of like tribulation you're going to be going through, but expect you're definitely gonna see stuff,
It's
see
very
like bad
telling though.
things.
It's very telling though, because people use that story to be to like dunk on you as well. Very often, they're like, look at Job. That literally proves that God is like a dickhead and will like let you lose everything that you own and your fucking family. But if you really boil down most things like that, if you really boil down this shit, it does come down to like you being stuck up on like your physical possessions, and like
Yeah.
that's pretty much what the story is about, is that that's not everything to life. It's better for you to like cut off your hand that causes you to fucking jerk off than to land in hell for it, right?
Yeah. Yeah, it's crazy is that like people online, detractors, they'll always be like, "Look, God's literally telling you to do this," and it's like, no, He's not literally telling you to cut off your hand. He's being metaphorical when He says this. Like, if something's causing
Yep.
you to stumble, remove it from your life. That's it. Not He's not actually telling you to pluck your eyes out. Like only an idiot would genuinely believe he's like telling you to do that. He's not actually telling you to do that. And the whole part, like going back to the story of Job, is the people miss the part in the story where at the very end where God restores everything that Job had, and I think He even gave him some more than what he
Yeah, you
had
give him
for
more.
for showing his good faith. Right? You're gonna go through the valley. You're gonna go through these harsh times, but just know He is with you, and at some point the storm will pass. And what you need to do is you need to cling on to God rather than just kind of give up all hope and be like, oh, He's abandoned me kind of deal. Um, there's always going to be those points in life you're going to come across that. And one thing I always kind of mention to people is kind of like, to at least like agnostics or whatnot. Well, actually, I guess this more so applies to a lot of the right wing, but a lot of the right wing who are agnostic or atheists or whatever, they always talk about, oh, we could have a perfect society or whatever if we just did A, B, or C or whatever, right? And what they don't realize is the ideal society they want to live in is actually is like a Christian based, society where people try their best to follow the Bible, be honest, and, live a humble and, kind of hardworking life where they raise a family and, do everything that God would realistically want you to do, right? They don't realize that. They don't put two and two together when it comes to that, and that's what Europe for a hot minute before like modern age at least was for the most part like a very Bible centric kind of place, and I think as a lot of these countries have walked away from the Bible, we've seen more and more of these kind of like bad things sort of happening to them. You know how like California gets lit on fire every single year?
Oh yeah, yeah. I do you know about Haiti?
No, what's that?
Haiti's fucking sick there. So in Haiti, there's like a fucking plague after plague. They just get ravaged completely. And the funny story about Haiti is this is the country why the country is the reason why I'm legally black, by the way, even though I'm white. Because Polish mercenaries sent to quell the slave rebellion in Haiti, they turned against Napoleon because they themselves, felt like they don't have their own land, and
Wait, are you talking about Haiti?
yeah, Haiti.
Oh, I thought you said Haiti, and I'm like, no, what's that?
Haiti. It's
It-
okay. It's the fucking language barrier, buddy. I speak Polish for a living.
oh no, you're good, man. I was just confused at first. No, it's just pronounced Haiti, like
Haiti.
hell. Literally, it's pronounced hell.
Yeah, right. And the fucking Polish mercenaries joined the goddamn, slave rebellion, and they won. And this is partially why Napoleon fucking took back the promise of giving Polish people fucking land, because we pissed him off. And
Yeah.
fucking the funny story about Haiti though is that not only have they turned themselves back into a shithole despite being fucking, boo, like woohoo, we're liberated. They turned back immediately into like a shithole fucking, what's it face? Just struggles between whatever the fuck, immediate fucking famines and just whatever. Like it's the same story in Africa as well. You turn the country over. The original colonizers are chased away, and what happens is it literally immediately turns into a fucking hell zone.
Yeah.
So, but the funny thing that ties it all together is the like annual like celebration that they have,
Like they have these
and
pagan kind of rituals, or
their
like
yeah
yeah.
their liberation day. Their liberation day is literally celebrating the meeting of the slaves that started the rebellion. It is like literally verbatim. I'm not joking. It is the meeting in which they struck a deal with the devil to do the rebellion thing. So to celebrate that while your country is like annually fucking ravaged to the ground is very interesting to me. Like it's a very
It's very
interesting
interesting.
correlation.
You wonder why they do it.
Yeah, and that's why that place is literally like cursed to this day. Like nobody wants to fucking be there. Any fucking white people that were there have been fucking brutally killed. It's tragic. It's all tragic because it's the same story every time. It's obviously gonna be the same story every time.
Yeah.
People are not ready to hear certain truths. It's not about the Bible. Like everything doesn't revolve around the Bible because the tools that you need to comprehend everything are built in. Your moral compass is
You're breaking
built in.
up there.
Oh yeah, yeah. True. Even if you like try to suppress it, you will always have that like inner voice telling you if you're doing good or not. But it's I don't want the fucking episode to just be a Bible study. I'm not used to this type of conversation because Carl is a deeply anti-religious Marxist fucking zealot. So our conversations about this go quite differently. Okay.
Oh yeah, no, I'm the exact opposite. I'm gonna tell you you should believe in Jesus and you should do your best
Yeah.
to follow his teachings because he will give you everlasting life.
Yeah, we can. Well, but you can't be a little. You can't be too condescending about that, right? You can't just jerk off for an hour about that. But yeah, it's. I mean, I'm definitely. I spent a lot of time researching that shit. Even the fucking goofy channel, the Schizo Dumps, I
Oh
find
yeah, yeah, yeah,
very
him.
important. Very true things are within many weird places. Like if you just search for them, like the whole seek and you shall find thing. Sometimes you will find truth in like even fucking the worst places. It's just a matter of being fucking inquisitive, I guess.
Yeah, I love his thumbnails. By the way, his thumbnails are like just just purely schizophrenic, dude. Like
And it's fucking jammy. It's really good. I like
yeah,
his
no,
channel a
he
lot.
has great thumbnails. It's just like it's loaded up with a bunch of text. It's just like borderline freaking yeah. It's I can't describe to you. I can't really put it into words what exactly makes it like fantastic. But this is literally like something a schizophrenic person would actually kind of like come up with as far as like a thumbnail. All right, it's very true to form.
If you look at it, his thumbnails are kind of like leftist memes, bro. His
And the
thumbnails are
wall text, literally the wall text.
pretty much
It's
kind of
so tiny
leftist
you
memes.
can't even read it.
But yeah, I like the schizophrenic quality of it. I mean, I've heard the theory about the whole demiurge, like loosh farming thing. Uh, it's actually crazy we haven't mentioned it faster because fucking loosh farming is literally just rage baiting. It's literally just rage baiting. Is all it is.
Yeah, it's literally rage baiting and just harvesting your like energy from you by making you like mad about stuff. That's just stupid.
It's a little black pilled version of reality though, because it's like assuming that there's this massive like fucking like demiurge itself. The idea is like a negative. It's like a negative version of God because you're literally assuming that God is that's not a real God. Like the demiurge is like a lesser God kind of creature concept idea.
Can you explain? Can you explain in detail like what exactly the demiurge is for the audience, and definitely not as a way of telling me what a demiurge is, because I might have forgotten. That's
Okay. Okay. So, well, I've done deep fucking researches because guess what? Fucking Gurren Lagann. Around the time I was researching fucking Gnosticism, which is very fucking old of a. It's a very old concept because it has many different interpretations of it. It's not just like very black and white, just like many other niche religions. It has like very weird variations between versions. But around the time I've been researching Gnosticism, I watched the entirety of Gurren Lagann, which is literally top 3 anime of all time. If you want to get a recommendation from me personally,
I've seen I
and
think I've seen like 10 or so episodes from it. I never finished it. I've been meaning to finish it.
so that anime is literally based on the Gnostic concept of cosmology. The idea of like there's a creator who created reality for the express purpose of like harvesting like life energy, which is the loosh that you mentioned, and it's uh, it's also implied in Gnosticism that Demiurge, which is the creator who created this reality, is also not God. Like when we talk about God with the double G, it's it's some concept that's above Demiurge. So Demiurge is implied to be like imperfect being. It's not the real God that created the reality. The real God is, something else. It's not really explained. I don't think so. Not even from what I've read. Since it's a pretty esoteric like religion. I've heard the idea for a long time. I haven't delved into it too much, but that's the basics of it. Is that this like being created our universe for the expressed purpose of harvesting life energies, and like this whole spiritual warfare does come down to that, and that's why the entire world is perceived as like a soul trap, which is like this fucking Buddhist reincarnation thing of when you die, you have a choice to reincarnate, but it is the wrong choice because that's how they keep you fucking trapped or whatever.
Don't they like turn
It's
you into a
interesting.
cow? Don't they turn you into a Brahmin and you like end up in India or something?
Yeah, that would be horrible. Yeah, that's
Can you
that's the
imagine?
one thing. But there's
You
different versions of reincarnation.
you die and they're like, all right, hey bro, it's like the opening to Kona Sober or something, and it's like you have this like very attractive goddess comes up to you and it's like, all right, you can reincarnate, you're gonna go to another world or whatever, and it's like, okay, cool, and she doesn't tell you and you like blindly accept, and then next thing you know you're literally
Yeah.
you're literally a cow in India.
Bro, no. Being a cow in India is fucking ballers. They're gonna eat your shit. They're gonna eat your fucking piss. They're gonna literally like venerate you. You're gonna be fed. Like of all the animals you could be, being a cow in India is definitely probably towards the top of the list.
But being
Being
in India
a
itself
fucking
is a
Indian
punishment.
male, yeah, being an Indian male, that's literally like 10 times worse, bro. Your suffering is immense if that's the case, bro.
Okay, all right. How about this? How about this? Like it's Konosuba, the goddess approaches you, and she's like, "You're gonna reincarnate. Either you can pick to be you could be Indian man, you could be an Indian man living in Mumbai, or you can be Filipino ladyboy living in Manila, in the
I mean,
Philippines.
it's
Which
literally like there's not a single country that beats fucking India here. I'm always taking fucking anything that's not India. Like literally.
okay, so you're picking to be a ladyboy.
Yeah, because being a ladyboy is not it's not
Yeah,
a fucking it's not genetics. It's
yeah,
literally like
yeah.
even if you told me like you fucking you reincarnated some genetic freak over in Philippines, that's still preferable to being a healthy Indian, bro.
Yeah, yeah. That's very
Maybe
true.
like some very specific sub-Saharan countries are gonna compete with India, but it's horrible. You don't want to test that.
I don't want to
I'm
test
gonna
it.
tell you straight up. When you get reincarnated, it's definitely not gonna be a fucking blonde Aryan little girl with the power to become Hitler 2.0 and destroy fucking Russia or whatever. It's definitely not that. It's definitely not that.
Mm.
Haven't you watched what's it face Tanya the Evil at all?
I've seen a few episodes. I never really got too much into it. I know like some of the memes from it, but I just. Oh, okay, that's what you were referencing. Okay,
Yeah.
I put two and two together. There, sorry. I'm a bit of a brainlet sometimes. But yeah, I've seen a few episodes of it. I really like got too into it. I remember Carl was like streaming it a couple weeks ago or
Yeah.
something. I didn't really like care too much for it, honestly.
Yeah. I hate it, but I hate it so much. It's so much worse than like Gurren Lagann that I watched around the same time. The season 2 is up. So I don't know how that's gonna go. I haven't watched it, but I literally tried to watch the first season of Tiny the Evil. The first time I couldn't do it. The second time, Carl's kept bitching about how it's the best anime ever. So I gave it a second shot, and I failed at episode 3 as well. It's just not a good. It's not a good concept. The idea is somewhat interesting, but the anime itself is really really bad. I don't like anything that fucking happened. The fucking bitch, the anime bitch is so like people give it too much leeway because it's like based Germany, but if you look at the anime itself, the fucking the main character is literally like OP Mary Sue like on the levels of Rey Skywalker because like episode 1 she solos a squadron of veterans and blows up. Then episode 2 she blows up like twice. Like she literally the little anime girl, she just like OP from the start. There's no fucking pressure at all in that fucking anime. I don't want to fucking hear it. I don't want to
I
hear
still
it.
think the premise of it is really like any good. Like, why would a military full of a bunch of men want to listen to a little girl?
But
Just
see, the premise, that's where they fucked up the premise. The premise is not bad here because you could do something interesting about like an extremely overpowered anime girl that tries to rise up in ranks, but it's like very hard because you're an anime girl and like you're gonna have a ton of pushback. The issue with the anime itself is that like within 3 episodes she's like talking to generals, bro. It's so
there's no
retarded.
build up.
It's
There's no actual
yeah,
build
there's
up to anything.
yeah, there's no pushback to whatever happens in that show. There is no pushback, and what is cherry on top is the depiction of God Himself, who's in like specifically says, "I'm gonna like punish you for being such a fucking sussy baka like atheist guy. So I'm gonna reincarnate you in a world that's worse than your current world." So he gets reincarnated in like, oh, there's war going on, okay? So I guess it is worse. But then he fucking gives him superpowers. What's the fucking point of that? The
It's not really
stated
much of a
purpose,
punishment.
yeah, the stated purpose was to punish this guy, but he keeps powering him up like fucking, oh no, please God, don't make me Superman so I can like solo the entire might of the USSR. Please don't do that as punishment. I would hate it if he reincarnated me as a fucking Superman
Very
in form of like
tsundere.
a little girl.
Very
It's
tsundere
fucking
coded.
just it makes no sense is what it is. It makes no sense. And Carl loves that anime, by the way.
You still talking? I
So
think you broke
I
up for a
literally
second.
promised to him.
I'm sorry, guys. He's on that Polish Wi-Fi. He's got that Polish Wi-Fi right now. You've cut out completely. I can't hear you at all. Yep. And he's gone. Just so you guys know, it's not me. It's not me. I lost the fucking. It's not me who lost the connection. It's him. My internet's still working. He's on the Polak internet right now.
It's not the internet. I think it's probably what's his face? It's probably next, bro. I'm telling you, I'm gonna kill somebody because it worked perfectly. I had no fucking issues for a year, and then my friend fucking dupes me into switching to a different distro, and it just fucking breaks everything. I hate it. But it should work now.
What is your opinion on Project Bluebeam?
Project Bluebeam, is that the Word of God, the little MK Ultra adjacent, like we're gonna beam the image of Allah into the sky?
Not really. The Project Bluebeam is more so the idea that they're going to stage a fake alien invasion, and they're gonna like use these advanced holograms or whatever like in the sky as a way of kind of like duping everyone into believing this is basically like the new messiah kind of coming, whereas like aliens will come and pseudo save the human race and we should all worship them kind of stuff. There's a lot of predictive programming for it, like Star Trek, for example. If you're a Star Trek fan, which I'm not really like a Star Trek fan. I watched some of the Next Generation movies like back in the day on VHS. But basically, what happens in Star Trek, World War III happens. Basically, most of the human population is like wiped out, and then shortly after that, the Vulcans descend from the sky and basically give humanity like star technology or like spaceship technology and shit, and like advance human civilization like ages or whatever. Like they advance them and stuff. And we have a lot of instances actually in media of like where it's basically the same story. Like, you know, aliens show up and they're the good guys and they help humanity out kind of deal. I'm pretty sure Stargate, if you ever watch Stargate, they also have like instances of this where they show similar things. And there's also a lot of predictive programming too for basically there's going to be one alien faction who are like the good guys, and then there's like another that are like bad or whatever, right? And you could even see shit like that in like Halo, for example. But with the predictive programming is essentially kind of like it's kind of like scattered everywhere, and as to where exactly how they get these ideas, I don't know if it's from like they're getting it from what's that what's that, it's like a term or whatever, connective consciousness, whether they get it from the connective consciousness or they're in communication with like an extra dimensional being who's kind of feeding them these ideas. It's kind of still one must wonder where exactly how all these people kind of come up with like very similar ideas and put it out there for people.
What do I think of that? I know that, by the way. I know the whole alien invasion plans. That's definitely something that like comes up every now and then. It's on the list of things, but nobody knows how that's gonna exactly go down. I'm not sold on the idea either, because I never liked the alien idea of like flying fucking saucer shit. I know that like government obviously has technology that's like super sophisticated. It's not like a very hidden thing. It's hinted here and there on like declassified stuff that like we do have access to some crazy technology. It's just not to the public, right?
Yeah.
But I mean, the extension of that is that most of that technology does not come from humans in some way or another. I would say like a good example is that like physicist working on, I think it was either the nuclear program or some other stuff, that like he himself said that like he does not get his ideas alone. He like some elves give him ideas when he digs tunnels. It's like some very weird shit like that, where I'm like kind of more convinced of the idea of aliens as like demons, as like spiritually, like it's spiritual beings, not just like whatever the fuck media portrays aliens to be, like actual extraterrestrials that have like a home on some planet. I don't think that's the case. Because even if that's the case, you would have to admit, for some reason, they care about the Earth way too much. Like, if you
Yeah.
think in the fucking atheist way, the atheists will never tell you why there's so much alien activity, specifically around Earth, which, if there's more than one race of aliens, that means there's at least one race that's way more highly advanced than Earth. That means they should honestly care about each other way more because clearly Earth does not have the same technology. So why the fuck of all the fucking planets in this like
Why they care about
infinitely
us?
vast universe, they care specifically about us? It's just it's very convenient. It's one of those things that like I'm not sold on at all. Most alien stories, they're like, you know, if they're credible, they're like very spiritual. They're described as like on the same vein as like somebody having like a sleep paralysis accident kind of deal where
Have
you're
you
like
uh, have,
abducted.
have you heard about the C4 research group?
Nope, not the name.
Okay, so basically, I'm gonna kind of butcher this in a way, but essentially, there was a research group that was about like basically investigating alien abductions and talking to people who were like quote unquote victims of alien abductions, right? And so they went around to a bunch of different people. I think it was like over 300 people they went and interviewed, right? I forget how many of the people that they interviewed. They talked to the previous like research group who went around and did these interviews with these people, right? And so when they went to go talk to these people, they when they interviewed them, there's I forget how many of the people basically said that like when they were getting abducted, they had called out in the name of Jesus Christ, and the abduction had stopped almost like right away, like instantly. And when the C4 research group, when they found out about this, they asked the previous like research group. They're like, why wasn't this included, like in the report? Why was none of this included in there? And they were just like, we didn't know what to make of it. So they just
Because
like
of science, guys. We can't include it
science,
because science.
science.
It's such a hypocritical thing as well. It's such a fucking retarded hypocrisy because they will claim to be like 100% like, oh, we're scientists, we're 100% fucking pragmatic here, we're doing whatever. But then you actually look at like the science nowadays, and it's literally just like a propaganda machine that does whatever like somebody pays them to do. They don't care about facts. They don't care about the fucking science. They just want to like make a buck because somebody paid them to prove that whatever the fuck is real, and you can't prove otherwise because then you don't get money. It's very fucking simple.
I was incorrect. It's not C4. It's the CE4 research group. Yeah, they go on basically about how like alien abductions are actually just completely like either demonic or kind of like fallen angel like incursions, and that's why when people call out in the name of God, they immediately cease, right?
They're spiritual in nature, which makes sense why they would be like an actual they say alien abductions happen all over the world independently, as if to suggest that like aliens are all over the world and they're real. But no, it's literally just demons, fucking
Literally
haunting.
demons. It's literally
Which
yeah.
I can't attest myself because I haven't been abducted by fucking aliens myself, but I can attest because I've heard that concept, by the way. I don't know where, but I definitely heard the whole like calling out in the name of Jesus, like stopping alien abduction thing. I don't know where and as part of what, but it's not the first time I'm hearing that. And I'm gonna tell you fucking something interesting is I tested that idea myself. I've had some like nightmares myself, and I've called out in the name of Jesus Christ, that kind of deal, and the nightmares sometimes would like straight up just immediately stop. It literally does work.
Yeah, no, that's how I came to believe in God. Was I used to kind of dabble in like witchcraft and stuff, some like New Age type stuff. I was dabbling in that, and I started getting sleep paralysis a whole bunch because you're basically messing with like extra dimensional beings far beyond your like comprehension and whatnot. I was dabbling in that, and I started getting sleep paralysis like every night, dude, and it would always hit at like 3 a.m. 3 a.m. like on the dot. It would hit like every single night, and I get it multiple nights, and I straight up like I couldn't sleep. Like I was terrified to sleep, and yeah, like one night I was having it, and I called out in the name of Jesus Christ, and it ended immediately, and that kind of made me think. I was like, huh. There's something here to this name. There's a power behind it to like that ended this incursion almost immediately. And like at that point, I was like looking into like Pizzagate and like a whole bunch of other kind of like like basically the elites all worship the devil and stuff. I was kind of like into that whole circle, and so that happened to me, and I was kind of like, huh. So if this works, there's like a power behind the name, and therefore, like if demons exist, therefore God must be real. Because I don't really think like it'd be just the one way and there'd be nothing else. And that incident is what really got me onto the path to getting away from a lot of that stuff, and trying to be trying to be like a better Christian, which I'm a hypocrite and I constantly fall short, unfortunately, as far as when it comes to being a decent representation of what Christ wants me to be, sadly.
You can't beat yourself up too hard. Like you're clearly trying. When you're clearly trying, you're doing your best. Like it's inevitable you're gonna stumble. Like you're human. I'm human. I'm not perfect by any means. I'm not even, I can't probably say that I'm more perfect than you. It would be like as well. Like that's hypocritical. That's not what this is about. The whole thing is to improve yourself, is to be the best version of yourself. Despite your shortcomings, because everybody has like a different set of vices that they have to tackle, and like it's a very cool way to reach that conclusion, because that's what it is. You have to like reach that conclusion yourself somehow. I've been a very non-spiritual person, even though I'm talking to you about like fucking loosh farming and demons and whatever the fuck. I have for like a long time have been like a completely non-spiritual person. There was a time in my life where I was like a virulent like atheist, you could even say. But that's like the teenage rebellion, because I grew up Christian. I went to Christian school. I grew up Christian, whatever the hell. I remember being like extremely I don't know if it's spiritual is the right word, but I was extremely like faithful. I was like fucking praying, whatever the hell. And at some point, there comes like teenage rebellion. You do the opposite thing. You're like, actually God does not exist. Fucking, get wrecked. And I don't know. Ever since then, I've not been like. There's literally not an ounce of faith in me, which, like there were times where I was like more Christian, and then I would go back to being a little atheist myself. It's like a thing that you have to discover on your own, like trial and error type stuff. But I don't know. I think in time I just connected enough dots to be like, even though I do not have faith in me, I can without doubt, like I am without doubt, like sure that these things are real. Like because it's just I have this inner push of trying to figure out these things, like how reality works. Everybody should do that, and just on the virtue of doing that, if you seek the answers, you will eventually just find them. It's just where you get there and how long it's gonna take. It's person to person. So I don't know. It's just too many coincidences. It's too many coincidences. I've had way too many cases of things coming up from like weird angles where I would be researching something specific, then like a person comes to me with that exact topic on their fucking mouth immediately, and it's just after some time you do realize it's not just you will have like signs around you pointing you to where you should go. Like it's just about you being open-minded.
Exactly. Yeah. No. That's kind of like, I guess that kind of relates back to the connected consciousness as I was talking about earlier. Is that like it's almost like you think about these things and then suddenly they kind of like someone just randomly brings it up. It's like or you talk about someone and then suddenly they appear out of nowhere, like speak of the devil type energy. When it comes to that, it's like honestly there's a whole lot more questions than there are answers when it comes to this life, and I've come to realize that I'm never going to have the answer on like 99.9% of these like things or whatever. I'm just not going to have it. Yeah. So yeah. Anyways, I'm probably going to wrap up the episode here. There is some stuff that I do need to go and take care of. Unless you have any closing points or anything you wanted to bring up before we close out here.
Yeah, no, racism doesn't exist, I guess. And there is one answer, and that is probably Rene. It has something to do with Rene and or Lele, probably.
Yeah?
That's it, buddy. That's it.
That's it?
That's it.
That's
the answer.
It all links back to Renee, doesn't it?
Okay, that's a terrible ending to an episode, but this was a Bible study anyways. It's not a normal Hagcast.
It's not yeah, this is more of a Bible study than it is a Hagcast or anything. But yeah, no, that's it. I do appreciate you coming on, None, and I'll start kind of putting this, going editing this throughout the week and whatnot, kind of putting this together, and I'll let you know whenever I get it uploaded. But thank you for coming on, though.
Yeah, cool. Thank you too. It's been a pleasure.